What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL, leader of the handmadeandbeyond.com website and community. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, an Etsy expert, and business coach who's figured out how to make my entire living with my handmade business. Each week, I'll dive into strategies and success tips to help you with your handmade business, with Etsy, and everything in between. Let's dive in. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Glad to be back with you doing another episode. As always, thanks for listening. I appreciate you guys listening, and hopefully the podcast is helping you as far as getting some tips to grow your business, some motivation, some inspiration. That is what I aim to do with each one of these episodes. I'm a little, so I actually just got done in my garage welding for the first time. Well, I think I did it back in like middle school one time. But yeah, I'm a little happy because I didn't set anything on fire or burn anything down. But this is like kind of the curse of like a handmade, handmade person, right? We want to do everything ourselves and don't want to get someone else to do it. We want to try and figure it out. It's part of the fun. So I'm always game to try a new trade and figure something out. And I actually had a piece of equipment for my screen printing press break, and it needs welded back together. There's two pieces that need welded back together. So I was thinking of hiring someone to do it, but I'm like, yeah, to do this, it's going to be probably like $100 to fix. You know what? I'm just going to get a welder, get a small welder. You can get them pretty inexpensive now, and I'm going to figure it out myself. So I figured it out. I think we'll see once I start using the piece of equipment, if it holds together, or if it doesn't fall apart. But that's how you learn. And now I'm like, oh man, I have a welder. I need to figure out some metal stuff. I need to start doing some metalworking and figure out how to put stuff together. But yeah, it's all part of the fun. Anyways, I just thought I would share that because I thought it was pretty funny trying to figure out. I was like, man, I hope I don't set anything on fire or electrocute myself, because welder's a little it's a little scary to use for the first time. Sparks flying everywhere and all that stuff. But it went well, or at least that's what I'm going with right now. But glad to be back with you guys. I have another really good episode, and I'm going to kind of change gears a little bit and talk more from like a small business, higher level type thing. And really what I'm going to talk about today is really what to do with your business revenue and profits that you're making. And this is going to change over time, but I want to give you some ideas as far as how to look at your business as a whole. I really try to look at it from a profit first aspect, which is a book. I believe, I'm trying to think of who wrote the book, but you should definitely check it out. I think you can get it on Amazon, pretty reasonably priced. It's how to kind of shift your thinking when it comes to profit first in your business. It's actually Mike Michalowicz who wrote the book on profit first. But that's kind of how I like to look at my business, as far as when you take your revenue and your profits that you start bringing in your business. The first thing that I like to do is pay yourself. Give yourself a salary or a percentage of those of that revenue, of those profits, so you can take care of bills, put it in savings, whatever you guys want to do. And like I said, early on, it's going to change. That pay yourself first percentage, maybe a lot smaller at the beginning, because you have a lot more expenses, especially if you're starting out. You have to spend money to grow your business on equipment, supplies, stuff like that. So that's going to change over time. But I think it's really important to give yourself some type of profit at the beginning, or at least get used to doing that, paying yourself first. And then from there, you want to take care of your business expenses, your day-to-day business expenses that are going to come out of that, whatever that may be. It may be shipping supplies, that may be product supplies, different things like that. If you're selling on Etsy, that you have fees, they take that out of your profits or out of your revenue. So you don't have to worry about that now. You used to have to pay it separately, but it just takes it out of your out of your revenue. So hopefully you're making at least enough to cover the fees. Again, at the beginning, you may not, and there's renewal fees. So you may have to come out of pocket for some of that stuff, but that's not always going to be that way. The goal is to continue to work at it so you start making revenue, steady revenue, and increasing that revenue over time. That'll cover your fees, it'll cover your business expenses, and first and foremost, it'll get you a percentage of that to pay yourself. The next thing that you want to do when it comes to the revenue that you're making in your business is investing back in your business. This is a part that people miss. A lot of small business owners, when they start making revenue and profits in their business, they don't think about the growth aspects of their business. They don't think about how that money will help your business grow if you invest it back in the business, whether that's personal development for yourself. And what I'm talking about is, books, training courses, things that that you need as far as personal development, personal coaching. There's a lot out there, and there's a lot that can help you as far as that goes. But as far as your business aspects specifically, I'm talking about, maybe new equipment. If your equipment's old and you can upgrade to equipment which will help you be more efficient, which will in return help you save time. Time is money, and especially when it comes to business. If it helps you save time and be more efficient, you can produce stuff faster, easier, meaning you can produce more items in that same amount of time. It is worth the investment all day long. And it's tough because people don't want to make that investment because it is extra money, but it's something that is necessary. Well, I've upgraded my equipment several times as my business has grown because I've seen the benefit of being able to rely on better equipment, produce things faster, and not have to worry about all the different variables and shoddy equipment. Because when I first started, I got the absolute cheapest screen printing press that I could find, and it was terrible. It was completely terrible. So as soon as I got the chance, I upgraded it, and then as soon as I got the chance, I upgraded it again to make sure that I was using better equipment. And even then, stuff breaks, just like I was talking about earlier, where I had to weld it back together. But still, I get to learn a new trade, and things happen. So invest in equipment for efficiency, so you can save time and be able to produce things faster. But you can also invest in equipment to expand. So in your niche, in your business, maybe there's other equipment that you want to invest in, so you can expand out. Like for instance, screen printing. You can invest in other equipment to be able to do hats, to be able to do sleeves, to be able to do the back of clothing. So there's things like that where you can invest in, where then you can offer different product lines within your niche. So depending on whatever your niche is, you may think of, or you may know of equipment that you can invest in that will help you grow. I also invested in a new sublimation, printer and press, to try and do things to offer a wider array of graphic opportunities and possibilities. So I'm always testing things out. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to run with that all in, but you may find that it helps your business grow, and you may focus on that those new products, those new product lines, whatever you're investing in as far as that goes. So there's two reasons why you would invest in equipment as far as that goes. And then the other thing, invest in your business as far as like kind of along the same lines, whether you need new equipment or not. Maybe you want to offer more products or more product lines, and maybe that is just all about getting the materials and the supplies to be able to do that, and then be able to make those products or offer those products. So that is an investment because you're expanding your business, you're expanding your product lines, you're expanding your offerings, and you're testing out new markets, new products, new subject matters, maybe even new niches within your vision for your business. So lots of things that you can invest in, whether you're investing in actual equipment, physical stuff, or knowledge, which a lot of people don't think about, but knowledge is important to invest in because you don't know everything. There's a lot of people that are further along your journey. So just just buckle down, if necessary, invest in learning, because it will take you a lot farther and a lot faster than trying to figure it out on your own. I have every confidence that you guys can figure stuff out on your own, but it's just like, how much time do you want to spend? How much time do you want to waste trying to do it on your own? So that's kind of how I think about it, at least. And then kind of along the same lines, the last thing I want to touch on is, along the same lines of, when you're paying yourself, you still should leave a percentage of profits in your business that you can put in, a savings account or a checking account. So a percentage of your profits. And again, this is going to be probably smaller when you start, and you can expand it as you grow. But it's gonna depend on how much you're paying yourself and the percentage that you're paying yourself. But what I like to do is, with the percentage of profits that I have, instead of just sticking it in a checking or a savings account, I invest those profits. So if you guys can look up, there's a lot of apps out there now, but I use Acorns. I've used them for a very long time. It's an investment app where you can set it up and set up your the strength of investment. So if you want to be aggressive or middle of the road or less aggressive, I'm pretty aggressive because it's a small percentage of money and I'm not going to tap into it right away. So I'm pretty aggressive with my investments, and then you kind of it'll set the investments as far as stocks, bonds, that it invests for you, a certain percentage depending on how aggressive or how less aggressive that you want to be. And then I have it set up where I do an automatic direct deposit every single week with whatever, you can do it as little as $5, $10 every week. And then you can increase it if you want, but those are all profits of my business that I'll invest in Acorns, and I'll make money off that money that you can use at the end of the year. Say if you have additional business expenses that you want to take out, or you taxes, different things like that. If you do Etsy does take care of taxes now. They do collect taxes, so you don't have to necessarily pay them. But I still have to do, as an LLC, I still have to pay taxes at the end of the year for my businesses. So it's always nice to have, and you can, how much you're putting in, so you can choose just to take out the investment, the amount that you've made on the investment, which you'll have to pay taxes on that, but it's free. If you put in at the end of the year, say $3,000, and you've made $500 off that money, and you take it out, you have to pay a percentage on that, but that's free money because you chose to put it in an Acorns account and grow it, doing nothing basically. So it's a good opportunity. I don't like to leave my money just sitting in a checking account or a savings account because the growth of that is super, super small. I'd much rather put it in, in like an Acorns account. There's a lot of them out there that do the same thing. There's TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, a lot of them that you can have it automatically take the money. Also, Acorns has a thing where if you link like a business card or any credit card, you can do roundups. So if you spend 87 cents, it'll take the 13 cents and invest it for you automatically. So different things like that. It's pretty cool. Also, you can link it. There's stores on there. So say, I think Uber Eats is on there. So if you click on Uber Eats in your Acorns, and then you go and buy something on Uber Eats, it'll like invest like 1.5% back into your account. I think like Apple's on there. There's a lot of big stores on there. So you can get free money just by going through the app to go where you're automatically going to go. And there's a lot of companies out there that do that. There's like Ebates and all that stuff that kind of do something similar. But this is if you have the app, you can do it. So I'm not an affiliate with Acorns. I'm just letting you guys know that I've used it for a long time. But I really do feel very, very strongly about investing profits throughout the year. And then if you want to take some of that money out at the end of the year, the free money that you've made off investing, you can, or you can just leave it in and watch it continue to grow. It's really kind of magical if you're to see you making money off of money that you're just putting in that account. So it's pretty neat. But check it out. There's an app for Android or Apple. It's Acorns, but there's other ones out there. If you have another investment account, it probably does something similar. So whatever you guys choose, that's just what I choose to do. That's how I like to structure how I allocate the revenue in my business. And again, you may want to sit down and do specific percentages of that, and then each week allocate those funds accordingly, depending on how much you made in your business. Okay, I'm going to pay myself 10%. I'm going to keep 5% for profits. I'm going to keep 30% for business expenses, different things like that, that you can kind of allocate those funds. But that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you got something out of that as far as thinking about the money in your business. It's not something that I talk about a whole lot. I'm not I'm not a crazy money expert by any means, but it is something that you have to pay attention to, fortunately or unfortunately, in a business, because it's all, at the end of the day, it's all about money and paying your bills and paying yourself and all that good stuff. Other than that, if you guys are a brand new Etsy seller, or maybe you just started, I do have a guide that I want you guys to check out. It's an Etsy quick start guide. It helps you kind of narrow in on your niche, how to start, what steps to take before you actually start selling. Again, if you just open your Etsy shop, or you're thinking about opening an Etsy shop, it may help you guys out as far as getting your ideas and getting your structure and getting your framework in order, so that you guys, are not running through a forest like a lost little boy. It'll help give you maybe a little bit of guidance with your business. So definitely check that out. You guys can get that at handmadeandbeyond.com /quick start. Go there. It's a free, quick download, quick read, couple pages long, to help you guys give you a couple of tips when you're first starting your Etsy shop out. Outside of that, I'll be back next week with another awesome episode for you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day, and happy selling.